we moved to an agent-first setup and made Codex the recommended agent for JetBrains AI. Let's talk about that. Previously, AI users would start out in chat mode, then choose which coding agent they'd like to use and which model they want. This could be anything from Junie, Codex, Claude Agent, or another ACP-compatible agent. But now JetBrains AI starts off in agent mode, with sensible defaults that work well for developers in most use cases. We're recommending Codex with GPT 5.4 Mini, as it's shown to be a good balance between correctness, speed, and cost efficiency.
Hey, Editor Mike from the future. Since I recorded this, OpenAI has released GPT 5.6, and while our initial tests were with 5.4, Codex still won out when compared to Junie. So in your IDE, you'll see 5.6 powering Codex, but everything in this video is still relevant. Pick any agent you want. We're going to recommend Codex as a good default. Okay, back to the video.
Not to worry though, as we'll continue to evaluate new models as they're released in order to make sure we're recommending the most effective and useful setup. So you might be asking, why Codex? Well, we didn't just pick it because it's new or it's from OpenAI. We actually evaluated multiple agents against a series of real-world tasks in Java, C#, and Python. Tasks like bug fixes, feature development, and general enhancements across our test codebase. Then we ran those changes against a test suite to check whether or not the agents actually did the work correctly. We broke down those evaluations into three main questions. First, can the agent actually solve the task? Second, is the cost reasonable? And third, is it fast enough? We weren't just looking for which model was the smartest or which one was the fastest. We were looking for the best balance of solve rate, cost, and latency for real developer workflows. Models like GPT 5.5 or Fable may end up giving you better results, but could be far more expensive. The key here was finding sensible defaults. Our two finalists ended up being Codex with GPT 5.4 Mini and Junie with Gemini 3 Flash. And honestly, the benchmarks were really close. We can see Codex had a slight edge in overall solve rate, while Junie was often faster and cheaper in certain areas. So we ran an A/B test with real users. We looked for signals like activation, churn, failure rate, and whether users switched away from the agent. What we saw was that Junie tended to be cheaper and more efficient in Java, with Codex being more efficient for Python and C#. For us, having something that was more generalized helped tip our decision. But the important thing here is that we're not saying Codex is the only agent you should use. If you wanted to switch to another agent, you can do that at any time. If you're in a Java-heavy project, you might want to switch to Junie. Or if you already have another agent that fits your workflow better, you can use that one as well. The goal here is to make JetBrains AI more agent-first, with sensible defaults while still giving you flexible options. And like I mentioned earlier, this isn't a one-time decision. We'll continue to evaluate new models as they become available to make sure we're recommending the right tool. So, want to know more? Check out the blog post below and let us know what you think in the comments. Cheers.